guys, and welcome to another video. What I thought we'd do today is take a tour of my desktop, and I have three screens. You guys are sitting above the right screen. All three screens are 22-inch monitors. You guys are sitting above the right screen. Then I have the central screen and the left screen over here. And what I wanted to focus on is the specific reasons why I have things laid out the way they are, and how that can help you get faster in your execution of your trading, and maybe can borrow some ideas from what I do. So let's get to it. So what you should be able to see on the left here, well, you can't tell it's the left, but this is my left monitor, the far left of the three monitors. So over here we have, let's just get rid of this a second. This is the way I have the monitor laid out. I have this free clock, which I've installed, this clock software, and I'll explain why I have that there in a second. Then I have the control center, the data box, so when I hover over any data, I don't know why it's not showing now, but let's just see. For whatever reason it's not showing there. Just a second. Okay, now it's showing. As you can see, as I move my mouse on one of my charts on the other screens, you can see it's updating there. So that's the data box. Good for seeing where I am with the cursor, the crosshair, high, low, stuff like that, and pivot points, which shows in this little grey area here. And by pivot points, I don't mean the floor pivots, I mean another type of pivot. Then we have the alerts here, and this is purposely placed over the market analyzer. And I've lined it up this way for a reason, but I'll get to that in a second. And then finally under here we have iTunes, and you can see that I have an office workout, and we'll talk about that in a second. So the logistics of the way you lay out your desktop, I think, is so important for speed and efficiency and to get the job done. So for example, this clock is here because I want to see trading activity at the turn of each bar. Now I use a 5-minute chart for my executions and a 30-minute for the backdrop, for the bias. So interesting things happen midway through a bar, at the end of a bar, in the seconds preceding the change of a bar, and the seconds after a bar has been finished, printed, and the new bar begins, or candle begins. So that's why I have the clock there. I've placed it right in the middle here so that I can get to currency percent or points, and I can toggle between that on the mode, and I can go advanced here and do things within the NinjaTrader control center. So that's the reason why it's there and not here or here. It's precisely placed there. The data box is here because I don't want to see it on the trigger chart or the backdrop chart on the other screens. And then in the background here we have iTunes. I have an office workout, and it's specifically tailored for a change in mood. So if I'm feeling low, I have an up-tempo section of the office workout playlist, and if I'm feeling high, overly agitated, then I'm going to bring myself back down with slow, soothing music, which is in another section of the office workout. So I know it intimately. I change it periodically, but I always keep the structure the same, in the sense that I know where the certain type of music is that I need to either bring me up or bring me back down. And so that's that. And also it's called an office workout because I actually do work out up here on my 4th floor office, and I'll talk about that in another video, because exercise is key to high performance, not just physically but also mentally. And briefly I'll just touch on it here. Basically you want to do HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training, which the acronym is HIIT, and that's going to boost testosterone, get clarity of mind, and obviously you need testosterone to make tough decisions where fear is involved. So that's the reason for the office workout and the playlist there. Then I have the market analyzer here. So you'll notice that when I click on this alerts, which pretty much is just used to cover the market analyzer, I rarely use alerts. And in any case, I don't need to see the alert because I'm aware of what I'm setting them for. But if you notice, it's precisely placed over the unrealized profit and loss and realized profit and loss, and the profit and loss here. So when I don't want to see red and green flashing across and riling me up emotionally, I just click like that and it's gone. And all I've got left is the bid, the ask, and the last price. I like to see this because when the market's obviously closed now because it's Saturday, but when prices are, orders are going off and contracts are being bought and sold and transactions are going off, you can see whether they're going off on the bid, i.e. people hitting the bid to sell, or people lifting the ask price, the offer, to buy, and it will flash yellow on either side depending on whether it's sellers or buyers respectively. So I leave that there. I can see that at the corner of my eye, and that informs my decision making process. So that's screen 1 on the left. I'll pause the video now and we'll move to screen 2, which is my central screen. So this is my central screen. I just remembered that I did take down the time and sales that you saw at the beginning of my explanation for screen 1, but they don't really have a home as yet because they're a new addition to my trading arsenal. So basically, if I go down here to the NinjaTrader, you can see here when I hover over these time and sales, I have time and sales, 3 different time and sales for each instrument. So that's why I have 6 in total. I have 3 for 6A, and then I have 3 for the YM. And the YM is, let me just bring it up here. The YM, that's 6A, just a second, is there. Okay, so this is on the left screen, and as I said, they don't really have a home yet, that's why I didn't explain them. But basically, you see the different sizes here. We have unfiltered transactions, 5 lot trades and bigger, 10 lot trades and bigger, and I've staggered them like this so that they're easily identifiable in terms of if I'm moving them around, I know that this is the unfiltered, and I've made it longer because there are naturally going to be more prints here for every one print here, and there are going to be more prints here for every print here because there are fewer 10 lot trades going off than 5 and fewer 5 lot trades going off than single lots. So that's the reason for the staggering there. So let's get back to screen 2, which is my central screen, the one that I look at directly in front of me. And basically I like to keep this one nice and clean. All I want on this is the trigger chart, which you can see before you is the 5-minute chart here. It's linked to the 30-minute, which is the backdrop chart. The backdrop chart. Get it out, James. It's linked here so that whenever I change this one, then the 30-minute backdrop chart will change alongside it, and that is on the 3rd and final screen, which we'll get to in a second. So I have the Superdome here. If I'm in the midst of putting on a trade, or it's a high intensity moment, I'll just click always on top, and then I can move the chart and do things without losing the dome if I need to. And when I put orders on, I always hold like this so that when I put the order on, the market doesn't move and change price. And it's happened to me in the past that I've got in the wrong place simply because the ladder's moving about violently as the speed of tape picks up at crucial turning points of the market. So that's that. Down here I have different strategies for the different markets, different stocks, different targets, and I'll change those on the fly as and when it's necessary. And one more thing, down here I have usually, yeah, that's like that, and then I'll click here and I've got the calculator. Whenever I discover, let's say I have this on always on top is off, the last thing you want to do is have this calculator above the ladder. Why? Because when you press around on here, it's just way too easy to go onto the ladder, and I don't have it set for a warning. You know, you can have it that they give you a warning, like say, do you want to send this order to market? I have it as an instant trigger, so if I make a mistake, the order goes straight to market, and that's why the calculator doesn't float above the dome. So that is screen 2, and then finally let's move over to screen 3, the one that you guys are sitting on top of with the camera. So this is screen 3, this is my email here, and this is where I will flick around and do whatever I'm doing here on the internet. And then as I don't really need the backdrop chart so frequently, I will just go over here, and when I need that chart, I'll click it, open like that, and then it will just be up here. And so this is all I see trading wise on this chart. I've got my fibs according to my methodology. I've got a bar timer down there so I can see when the half hour is going to change, just in case for whatever reason I miss it on the clock on the first of the 3 screens on the left. And I've got my pivots here, and you know, so that I can easily identify the points from which I'm anchoring my fibs for my golden mean fibs. I've also got the 5% point away from the fibs for wiggle, so you got the 61.8, but you've also got the 66.8 and the 56.8, and the same for the inverse golden mean, which I've nicknamed the inverse golden mean because it's 1 minus the golden mean, so 0.382, and then you got the 5% lines on either side. And that's my setup, really. I'd love to see yours, how you lay out your desktop. Anyone who's watching, if you have time and the desire, I'd love to see how you do yours, and hope this was useful in some kind of way. It was just a bit of fun for Saturday night. I'm up here about to go off and munch some muesli, and then I'll go off to bed. So that's it for now. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye for now.